Good morning, traders. How we doing out there? Who's ready to get back into the trading action? I'm excited to go ahead and get after it today. And guess what, team? PPI coming at you in just a couple minutes here. We need to take a look at the estimates. Of course, what's going to happen here? We'll be taking a look at the Producers Price Index. PPI is expected to show a 0.2 rise in July, aligning with June's figure, right? Wednesday's Consumer Price Index is also going to be on the radar. That's going to be anticipated of a rise of 0.02. But today, we are all about the Producer Price Index. This could be changing things up towards the open here, and you're seeing it already. Market makers go wide. So be careful out there, traders. A lot of action going to happen off this report. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the action here on the SPY. SPY right now getting a little bit of a lift in the pre-market. It's almost like they know what's coming right now. And it seems like that's what's happening in the market right now. So if somebody has the report early, well, please send it over to my email because I would love to have it early too. But hey, it seems like that's what's happening right now in the SPY. And we need to take a look here to see what we can trade off of it, right? Trades right now, guys. I only made one trade this morning on CXAI. Already a nice little win there. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up here. Another trade on the swing trade side of things. I did cut NVIDIA. I was up on NVIDIA. I then cut NVIDIA. Right now, I'm looking at different trades out there to see what I can get. I have XLU long from 73.32 yesterday on the swing account. So I will be looking at XLU and looking at different stocks in the market right now. We'll see what happens. Is CXAI, I was able to make some money looking at Apple, NVIDIA, stocks that I'll be watching here towards the bell, especially towards this report to see what happens. NVIDIA is trading up right now at 112. A little part of me feels like coming after it there and just shorting it right now ahead of the report. But we'll see what happens. Here it is, guys. PPI at neutral here versus a 0.2 estimate, 0.3 being a prior. So seeing that drop there in the core PPI month over month. Let's take a look at PPI year over year at 2.4 versus a 2.7 estimate, 30% prior. Let's see how this continues to lift the market or not. Will we get some downside to come in here? July year over year was at 2.2 versus a 2.3 estimate, prior 2.7. So definitely seeing the numbers come in underneath the estimate here. Let's see how the stocks trade off of this and seeing what we can find, right? All right, so right now I'm taking a look at the action with these stocks. Of course, I see the SPY got a little bit of a lift off of that. We'll see if these can continue to run. There's very rare times where I'm trying to go back into the kind of the 1 minute, but I'm just going to stick to the 5 minutes here. I'm going to see what happens on the first 5 minute candle after this report to see if I start to get short on some names or looking for some longs. There's plenty of different trades here that are available to me. I just need to see if the Qs start to drop and go red on this 5 minute candle. We'll see what happens. That's that 8:30 candle. A lot of volume coming in also on this candle, of course. So now it's time to see, will we get some downside shake? Let's find out, guys. All right, guys, and in a little bit, we'll also get to the playbook action today. We'll take a look at some of the stocks on there. Some of the stocks are going to be stocks that I might actually get after, right, and start taking a look at them. Let's just talk really quickly through the playbook, and we can take a little bit more of an assessment towards the bell, maybe take a look at the trading action in these names. I just want to give you guys the tickers really quickly. So let's take a look at that action. First up, let's talk a little bit about, of course, the first one up here is going to be SOX S, right? SOX S, I was trading yesterday. Going to look to see if we get some downside action in the market today. SOX S, definitely a great play yesterday. And guess what, guys? Remember, we had a $1,000 goal for the week. Well, I already made 630 of that yesterday. This morning, make another 130, 140. So we're moving really well towards that goal. We're going to continue getting after it. Second one on the playbook is going to be Excel Energy. This is a utility play. Utility is doing well. Right now, I'm long on the XLU. Going to watch to see if that can continue to lift. Nextera Energy, another name to keep watch. Excel Energy is right here in Orlando. I could go ahead and try to see what's going on with them. But to tell you the truth, I think they start to get the lift and continue to push. Let's go to the next one there. The last one on the playbook today is going to be SARK. SARK is also a look at what growth starting to come down. So if growth can start to come down, I think we need to keep a watch on this to see what happens in these growth names. Will we start to see a move with defensive names going higher? Right? That would be the recession concern towards the course of presidential election. We'll see what happens there. But enough of this action. Let's get back to the trading action and seeing if we can trade some of this action right now. NVIDIA's at 112.45. Well, glad I covered NVIDIA this morning because I was at 110.02 and I covered in the green. You got to be smart going into these reports and being careful. I said to myself, hey, if I see the downside come in, then I can come after it. Let's not front run a number that we don't know what is going to come. All right, guys, back to the action there. We'll see what happens, but definitely keep your eyes on what's going on in the market right now. Let's get back to my camera here and see what we can find in the market. What can we trade here? Of course, a lot of stocks making a move here. CXAI still on the radar for the smaller names for you guys out there looking for a smaller name. This kind of candle right here at 8 a.m. kind of got me out. It didn't really kind of break too much. I got out at 39s. 239s, but was able to make a nice gain there towards 267. So got a nice little gain in the morning here. Looking to see what happens with these stocks. NVIDIA's up at 112.80s, almost breaking 113, and the Qs are trying to go higher. We'll see if they're able to break 456 and starts to push. Stocks has dropping fast, of course. That's not a good outlook for the bears, but that doesn't matter because I'm not in a position right now. I can always rotate and say, hey, well, maybe we just go long on some names. How did we do here with Tesla? 198.80s. Interesting to see that. How's XLU moving off of this? Let me see here. XLU pretty much trading in line. It has 74.02 on the offer, but 54-cent spread. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm in the green on there, but I need this to keep going higher, start going back through that 74. We'll see what happens on that stock. A lot to take a look at, the guys out there. If you guys got a stock you guys want to take a look at, let me know in the chat. Let's keep it going. It's Trade the Pool, guys. Good morning, Dane. What's up out there, man? What's your biggest win in trade? Is it one trade? Is that what you're asking? I have done some green calls in the past, like let's say CCIV when it turned into Lucid, Workhorse. I've called like Overstock a couple of times where it's just ripped, you know. What's a recent one? The AMD trade was a really nice one. As of this year, I think that would be probably one of the top ones. And then I'm trying to think of what else. There's a couple, right? I've done a great amount of swing trades that have done amazing. And I don't like to always think about the biggest win because that just gets us greedy. I'll be honest, man. When you have a really big win, it's easy to get greedy there. We'll see what happens. Jane, good morning to you. Vic, future day trader. All you guys, let's get that money. Let's see what we can come up with today. All right, Vic in the house. Let's go. Jane, what's up? What are we taking a look at this morning? Are you guys taking trades in the pre-market here? We'll find out, guys. I will take a look. I also have some smaller names. We can take a look at the gap scanner and things like that. I'll put that screen up in just a second here. But seeing things move all around here. Tesla now 198. We're at 113 now with NVIDIA. The only question, though, is the Qs really have been breaking that high in the pre-market. So Q's struggling here. Let's take a look at that action. And let's actually, I'm going to go to the one. I don't want to be going to the one on the actual trading action, but I'll go ahead and I'll do it just for the time being. You can see here how it's fighting this resistance, not going through it. I'm wondering, do we start to see a takedown back below this? So let's see what happens here, guys. Will we see a downturn? Will we see this start to come down here? Hey, keep your eyes on that. Really, if it breaks this line on the downside, let's say back through 455 is where I can start to take a look to see if we start to break down. But right now, everything pointing to the upside in the pre-market. Got to watch for this 455 on the downside here. I'm going to actually put this as red and make this a little bit thicker. We'll be keeping a watch to see if we break that level on the downside. Until we break that level, you can always pull back to this trend line and kind of hold this trend line. We'll see what happens on that. I'm going to make that green here. just to watch that continue to rise above that. And you could always get a pullback further towards the next layer, which would be this layer right here. So always got to know where the next layer is and where that could stop up right there. We'll see what happens here if we start to get some downside action in the market today. And SARK is definitely going to be on my radar. It's pulled back far enough there, pretty much where we came from, where we broke out from. So now I need to start taking a look to see if we can hold 35.44, yesterday's low, 35.60s right now. It's right around each other. So that's good. 35.40s, 35.50s. That seems like a good level to see some bottoming action, and then it come right back up. I'll be watching SARK. SARK, of course, is the against Cathie Wood name, right? So you guys can see the pullbacks here. It's kind of holding in this 36.50s. If I look at the 15-minute chart, which is what I'm looking at, right? That's what I'm trying to stay to. You can see the recent pullbacks yesterday right around this area, 36.50s, 36.40s. If it can stay in that area and then start working its way back, it's going to be one to keep an eye out for. All right, guys, what's going on out there? How you doing? It's good to see you guys. We can start taking a look at different stocks in the market. We can take a look at the Sunrise report, see what's on the tape there, and see what's moving all around. First up, let's go take a look a little bit into the Sunrise report today. First up, let's talk a little bit about what happened there in Elon Musk. Yes, I'm talking Elon Musk, guys. And let's take a look here. So, of course, Elon last night with his interview with Donald Trump on X faced some technical issues. So there was some issues where it looked like they were being attacked, and Elon tried to say that, X was trying to get hacked and things like that. Well, they did have some struggles. So, Elon, you need to fix Twitter. You need to make it better. But we're not going to get into that action. Let's talk a little bit more about what happened here. It attracted 1.3 million viewers. Trump discussed global leaders, NATO, immigration, frequent mentions of President Biden despite his recent exit from the presidential race. So he was trying to hit Biden during the conversation. The truth is, you don't need to come after Biden anymore, Trump. You beat Biden, but Biden beat you. Right. And so it's kind of like a win-win situation there, because Biden beat him, got him out of the office. Right now, Trump's trying to get back in the office, but Trump's not going to really beat on Biden here. It's more what happens with Harris. Right. And so now we need to continue to watch. He did make mentions of Harris in different ways. He was trying to appeal to her attractiveness by also referring to her alike. His wife, right? And so I think at this point, I think we need to continue to watch to see what happens with here. It's going to be a clown show, guys. It's politics. It's just how it is. It's a clown show on both sides. Regardless if you're a Republican or a Democrat, you can't tell me that our politics aren't a clown show. But let's keep moving, guys. Let's talk a little bit about some earnings and some market movers today. Let's take a look at that action. Let's go to Home Depot as they beat quarterly expectations, but warned of weaker sales in the second half due to high interest rates, right? So let's take a look here to see what happened on the tape and see how the stock is trading right now. I'm looking at SARK pulling back right now, but the SPY and the Qs not really doing too much there. Qs still haven't broke that level right now that we just pointed to. It's just kind of holding in right there. We'll look to see if it breaks down or not. Let's get to the Home Depot report here. Home Depot is trading up, but did take that first hit on the downside action. Of course, coming back with the report, we need to see what happens there, right? And so the one thing that I would be paying attention to here is the warnings, guys. And I've talked to you guys about these warnings multiple times. What have I been saying? Well, multiple industries are giving you that warning right now. We've gotten warnings from lodging. We've gotten warnings from the airlines. Now we're getting warnings from Home Depot. The big boys are telling us, be careful out there. The consumers are slowing down. And why are they telling you this? They're trying to lower the bar of their earnings expectations, right? Because if they can lower the bar of their earning expectations, even if they go through a rough time, by lowering that bar, it will essentially help them meet lower expectations and then still continue on their merry path. So it's mixed fold here, right? They're giving you the warning, but they're also trying to lower the bar. So essentially, I don't think they're lying here. They're telling you the truth, and they're trying to bring down their earnings expectations. We'll see what happens here, guys. Let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action. He still talks about Obama. Yep, he'll always talk about Obama, guys. It's Trump, right? I mean, he's all about the front pages, right? That's what he's about, man. Let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there. If Home Depot wants to start to crack, we'll see what happens there. Nice little pullback there in Home Depot. Let's get to the second report that we want to talk about today. The second one that we want to take a look at is, and I'm just going to mention this one. We're really not going to take a look too much at this one because it's kind of a European stock, which is HelloFresh. I don't know if you guys order these HelloFresh packages to come to your door, so you guys don't have to go to the grocery store and then cook out HelloFresh. But of course, they also own Factor, which is like ready-to-eat meals, and that's where they're seeing the growth with 52.2% growth in ready-to-eat meals, getting that big boost. It seems like Americans don't know how to cook anymore. Is it true? Let me know in the chat. Is that what's going on? People just don't want to cook anymore? We'll take a look at that action. All right, let's go to the next one here. Let's go to PaySafe. PaySafe, of course, PSFE, and the stocks are surging after beating Q2 estimates, raising the full year sales guidance to $1.71 billion and $1.73 billion. Let's take a look at that action and see how the stock's trading here. Of course, we're talking PaySafe, right? PSFE. Let's see how it's trading right now. It was up towards 2240s, now pulling back to this 2012. So really not a good move here off the report, but overall doesn't look too bad on the daily. You can see how it's starting to try to come back, try to fill this gap here towards the 2020s. We'll look to see what happens on this stock. This stock has had a bunch of different gaps, so keep your eyes on that. We'll see what happens on this. This has been climbing back, though. Of course, this is a SPAC. So I don't know if how you guys feel about that. Maybe it starts to take a hit. The SPY now taking a little bit of a downturn here. So will we take a downturn off of those reports? We didn't take downturn off of that first number there. So keeping a close eye on it today. It's going to be a very, very close watch. And now we're starting to break that red level as we start to break down. That's something definitely to keep watch. We bounced off that second layer. We talked about that here, guys, just seconds ago. Right? Would we go to the second layer? We went to the second layer and bounced right off of that. So now look to see if you close up below that on the 5-minute, you could start to see some stocks dropping fast. So with this mention and what I'm seeing out there, I'm willing to take a shot in SARK. SARK, baby, SARK. SARK, baby, shark. All right, let's take a look here at SARK here. We'll be watching this, especially towards the bell. Right now it's at 36.22s, but it's an 85-cent spread. So I need this to come down a little bit on the spread. If I could get the spread to come down, or maybe an open that comes to 35.60s, 35.40s, I got no problem taking a little bit of shark. Shark? That's the way it should have been called. I think it should have been called shark versus SARK, but hey, that's just my outlook. We'll see what else is out there, guys. Of course, this is against ARKK. Let's take a look at the smaller names, see how those are moving in the market today. We'll move over to our main screen here, but we can take a look at some other action. There's still on holdings to talk a little bit about. We'll talk a little bit about that, of course, the shoe company. And then there's some analyst action out there. There's an upgrade on Hormel Foods. There's a downgrade on Academy Sports, ASO. And then there's an interesting one, which is keeping TripAdvisor at a neutral and lowering its price target to 16. Tells me more and more how we expect to see some more issues in consumer space and lodging, different areas out there to keep a watch. We'll see what happens in the market today, guys. What are you guys taking a look at? I see you guys in the chat. What's up out there? What are we trading? We expecting some downside today? Are we going to get that upside move? We'll have to keep a watch out there, guys. All right, guys, seeing a bunch of volume kind of moving all around. Let's take a look at the action. I'm going to move us over to the main charts here as we can take a look at different stocks there. Let me go ahead and bring down my screen here and bring up another screen. It's always good when you have multiple screens, right? Got to enjoy the action there. We can talk also about my earlier CXAI trade. Let's take a look at what's going on right now. What's up? What's up? I don't look into my watch list until 20 minutes to the open. Well, that's a little bit late if you're only looking at your watch list 20 minutes towards the open. I think you're sleeping, my friend. Wake up out there on Twitch. It's Twitch, man. I could imagine you're sleeping, playing late night games. Hey, it happens. I don't play no more late night games. I'm ready for the market. I get up at 6. Actually earlier, really, 5:30, 5 a.m. I'm up, but looking at the market by 6 a.m. always. Some people like to look at the market at 4. Hey, shout out to you guys. Pinkies up. But I can't handle that 4 a.m. game. I'm with the Twins at that time. Getting them ready, giving them a good little milk. Yeah, Rachel, you came in real quick. You see, the other traders they'll enjoy that one. 20 minutes? What's going on, man? And Jane, you're right. I got little ones now, and got to take care of them in the early morning hours. And that's just how it is, man. I'll tell you one thing. I've learned more and more to respect those parents out there that are, with kids, multiple kids. I'll tell you what, much love to you guys out there that are able to trade and handle, maybe get the kids ready for school and get your trading watch list ready at the same time. Hey, shout out to you guys. Keep battling out there. I'll keep battling with you guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what we can find today. Had a $630 trade yesterday, so really trying to keep getting after it. And that was with a loss on NVIDIA. I made a really great trade in that penny name yesterday, and we won't even talk about that penny name. But let's just keep taking a look out there in the market. We're going to find a great trade out there. Let's keep battling, man. I've been up for 10 hours, but I'll be going to bed often. I'm done trading. Hey, man, take it, man. Maybe you're an overnight trader. Maybe there's those traders that trade in the early morning hours. Hey, we're just messing with you. We're just having a good time. And I hope you'll be back tomorrow as we start at 8:30. So no 20 minutes of watch list. Let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look to see what else is in the market. All right, let's take a look at the CXAI trade, right? I'll show you guys kind of the report here and how I kind of traded it, right? So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at that smaller name here. And I'll keep a watch to see what happens on like SARK and different names out there in the queues right now, because that's really what we need to watch. We need to watch to see what happens here with the queues and this overall level, right? If it can go back above that level, that's going to be something definitely to watch. Let's say going to 456 today. If not, we could be chomping around this 456 and 453s that we were in the pre-market. We'll see what happens there. Let's keep going. Par says he's been up 12 hours already. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So CXAI. All right, guys. So not a bad one here. And it's starting to lift right now, guys. A little part of me feels like scalping this action here before the open. I've already made a nice little gain on this. Let me show you guys it. So you guys can see it right here, guys. Was able to buy it this morning and take a really nice trade on it. I really think this was a good one. It was a nice little ad. First 300 shares, 200 shares, 500 shares, selling some at 267. And look where 267 was. This thing went to 268. As soon as it hit 268, I wanted 270, but I said, I'm not going to be greedy for 3 pennies. Let me take that money, majority of it off, and then see if it can keep running. It didn't keep running. It came back down towards the 240s. I actually had a stop limit at 239. They hit me. And now it's back to 255. So now I need to take a look at the 15-minute chart, which is what I was trading it off of. And it was right here when I actually bought it. It was 3 bottoming candles to the 230s. Now we're trying to break above the 265, go to the 270, and maybe make a run to 3. Definitely on the radar today. We'll see what happens there on CXAI. What's up out there? Easy to follow up, man. Yeah, it's good to see you guys up there. We'll see what happens on this one. Nice profits yesterday. Yes, future day trade was able to make a really nice trade there. Got to keep battling, though. It's not just one way, right? We got to continue to kind of get after it this week. We're going to make a big move for this account, man. And I feel like, I've been battling on this account, been back and forth, guys. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But let's keep looking to see if we can find some other smaller names here. CXAI, I had it from a while ago. I paid too much. Holding at a loss. Bought more last night after hours, hoping for a 3-ish. Hey, You know, one of the things is I've been there, Jane. Don't worry. We all have our bags, and every trader or investor out there will have a bag or two, right? It's just a part of the game. We learn from this. We learn that we always need to cut losses at some point, right? Because if we hold the bag, the only thing we can do is add to the bag. And you're telling me right there, Jane, you added to the bag. I've been there, Jane. I've added to the bag. And I've told you guys which is one of my bags, right? Which is Genie. I only really have one bad one, which is this one. The other one, I wouldn't consider a bad one because it's in a pretty good stock. So Genie is one that I have. And my bag's all the way up to like 1120s, 1130s, somewhere in that range. I'm still waiting for the day for that to come back, but we'll see what happens on that one. We all have bags, Jane. So I'll be honest. I'll always tell you, man. Are you close to passing the eval? No, I am not, Future Day Trade. Gotten on the day trading side of things, I can tell you guys, it's been going up and down. I've gotten up as high as up towards like, let's say close to 3,000 and then gotten a hit right back down, right? So it goes up and down in this account. So just got to keep battling, man. And the truth is survival first, right? I have gotten, this would be my third eval on the day trade side. The first two, first one, I blew it up, but that was before I was trading with Trade the Pool. And then the second one just expired. And so expired, I wasn't too upset. I did finish that one in the green, so I can't be upset about that one. It just didn't get to the profit take, right? And so I'm going to keep battling with you guys. The one that I'm really trying to get after, guys, and I'm really starting to focus more on is the swing trade one. And I think that that's more important, right? So trying to get after that one, you guys will see me take more and more trades on that. And I'll always let you guys know which account it is. Is it the day trade or the swing trade? That's where I really think I need to make the step up on, because if I could get that account, I really do think that I can make like a big step up in my wealth. So that's where I'm going to step up. I'm going to take more and more swing trades, not get too lost in the day trading side of things. And sometimes just taking some small day trades and going to focus more on my swing trade side of things. When there's a lot of market volatility, I don't like to hold too many swing trades overnight, but there's times where I want to hold up to 10 positions. So we're going to work on that, guys, especially in the next week or two. Look for seeing those swing trades starting to ramp up and taking it to the next level. How many accounts do I have? I have 2 right now, 2 that are active, right? You'll see 3 here when I hit the down click, but one of them is not active. One of them's expired on the timing. So that's just to give you the outlook, right? And the swing trade is this S1. So just trying to give you guys the outlook there. I'm always going to be trying to be as fully transparent, give you guys the access to essentially my account, right? That's what I do here, guys. So let's keep getting after it. Let's get back to the market. Let's try to find some trades, guys. I'm having a great week. I want to keep having a great week with you guys. And part of this is also understanding that, hey, all right, so I made 630 yesterday. I'm up already 140. So instead of thinking today that I'm only up 140, I need to think of myself as what? I'm up $770 for the week. How can I protect that capital, but at the same time push it and try to get above the 1,000 mark, right, for the week? We'll get after it today. But another thing is, I don't need to go extreme sizing today and give back all that gain, right? I can use my cushion, my 140, same thing I did yesterday with a $200 cushion. Now I'm going to use that cushion to make some trades, take some risk, but at the same time, being small, slow at first, giving myself the opportunity to get that green, baby. Let's get after it. Just eValves, or do you have a funded account as well? I do not have a funded account right now. Do I want to get to that level? Hell yeah. That's what I'm here for, right? At the end of the day, guys, you guys know it. I'm here as a trader at Trade the Pool, here to show you guys the winnings, the loss, the strengths, the weaknesses. And like always, you guys know I'm studying to be a CMT, going to keep getting after it. Excited to take another exam in December. So I really want to push myself. I want to get to that next level. And you guys out there, let me know. Are you guys looking for more education? Thinking about doing some more education myself. Maybe even potentially, and I know that I would love to throw this out there, guys, because I don't think there's no one else doing this. I'm even thinking about trying to do like one-on-ones or maybe like a 1-on-5 mentorship where I take 5 students on and I try to help them really get to that next level. There's one thing that I will tell you guys is for certain, and I really truly believe it. Accountability in trading is so important. I've even thought about creating accountability companies where we're here to help you just keep you accountable to what your goals are and trying to help your system get you to the goals. Because the truth is, goals are just goals. That's just the end result. It's the journey that matters. And we need to have that journey and process to get us there, right? And making improvements in our journey and process is what gets us to our end result, our goals. Let's keep going. Let's take a look around. Let's take a look at DJT. What happened to that? Did we finally get some movement on that? Nope. It's down to $24, man. Trump. I remember when this thing was up there towards like 46. Wow, it should have been a short, not a long, but we won't get into that action. Let's take a look around. Let's take a look at PSIG. Another small name, right, was moving yesterday. Had to lift a little bit this morning. The C204s, 208s. Not moving too much, but definitely one that we can keep on the radar this morning. RVNC, one that was up this morning. We'll see what happens on that one. Let's go back to the Gapper scanner here and see what I can find on that Gap scanner. Here it is, pre-market. Boom. There's CXAI, of course, leading the top action there. Let's take a look here at a couple other ones. If you guys got some small ones you guys want to take a look at, let us know, guys. I see BuzzFeed there. BuzzFeed getting a little bit of a lift this morning. That's an interesting one to see get a lift. We'll see what happens on this one. This one's done a 1-for-4 split. It does have a nice daily chart to look at, guys. So the daily chart has a good level that could go towards 3 and maybe 327. So I don't see this one maybe going 4, but is 3 available? Yes, it is available. And you can see it in the after hours. It spiked up there towards 298. So really close to that 3. Now I need to take a look at the 15-minute to see how the drop's going, right? Are we getting the pullbacks that we need? So right now you've had about 3 attempts to break this resistance trend line. And now I always look for one more bottoming to kind of hold. After that point, we shouldn't see the breakdown below this 257. So I will look for a red to green through that 257, coming back through the 270. Wouldn't be a bad look. Like, let's say maybe this 250 pullback, 250 pullback wick would it close back up towards the 260, and then it starts to make its move towards the 280s. Not a bad one to keep on watch. All right, gonna get started on my 20-minute prep. Hey, let me know, man. Let me know what stock you're watching in that 20-minute prep. I'll tell you one thing. PPI came in lighter than expected. All stocks got a boost from this morning. And a lot of that was this morning, some earning stocks were showing some warnings like Home Depot, but starting to come back, right? Of course, NVIDIA up higher, so keep your eyes on that. Technology is going to be looking a little rosier. But right now, we're watching the Qs to see what happens on that level. 456, big level to watch to see towards the open if we can break through that. We break through that, you're going to be seeing a lot of tech names getting that lift. SMCI was getting the lift this morning. A lot of option play in this stock. So take a look at this thing. This thing was down to 545 this morning, and look how it's gotten up there. It's gotten up there to 568. So you're talking about a nice 4% gain in the pre-market from the lows. This is one to watch. A lot of options traders are on this thing. Keep your eyes open for it. All right, in the Discord, if you ever want to chat, hey, love to hear that. Love to hear that you're in the Discord action up there. So definitely, guys, take a look into that. If you guys don't have our Discord, check it out. And I'm going to jump up in the Discord a little bit more. You know, that's one thing that I want to do a little bit of. You know, I jump in there every now and then. Don't trade too much in the afternoon hours because, of course, the Twins. But definitely want to go ahead and take a look into that. And look who it is. Look who it is. Hola, Mufasa. What's up out there, Bullseye? How we doing? It's good to see you, man. What company are you using to receive sector index data? Rachel, good question. So I use a bunch of different paid services. And the truth is, in this industry, you're going to find a lot of people that say, well, I use this free service. I use free over here and free over there. The truth is, freemium is never going to be premium, right? The truth is that's what it is. So I look for data providers all around. I use TC2000 for my charting. I use Trade Ideas. Those are the kind of the scanners that you see at the bottom here. And of course, I'm using the Trade the Pool platform to execute my trades, right? So you got to be able to move all around, guys. And Bullseye, I don't even want to talk to you no more, my friend. You put 300 into Schwab, the platform that keeps going down, the platform that I've seen restricted at least 3 times in the last 3 months. I don't know, man. I couldn't go on to that. I'll tell you one thing. Maybe Interactive Brokers, I won't be against them. I like them. They're a decent broker out there. But Think or Charles, you can forget about them, man. Forget about them, man. Forget about it. Free commissions. There's free commissions everywhere, man. Commissions don't matter so much, guys. I traded when there wasn't free commissions. And trust me, there wasn't no free. There was a time, guys, where you actually had to pay to take trades, right? And so you actually thought about them a little bit more. Free commissions was a negative for the market. I don't want to get into this, guys, because we can talk about this later, maybe towards 10:30 or 11. But free commissions was such a negative towards the market, a negative to us, the retail trader. We thought it was going to be a good thing to trade for free, but really we forgot. The computers now trade for free. Is that a positive? No, it's not a positive, man. I'm telling you, all we did was increase high frequency trading by going lower in the commission game. If we kept the commissions higher, the computers have to pay it also. So, hey, we won't get into that action. We'll keep going. CMEG charges me $250 for the platform fee. Yeah, well, you got to make money, baby. That's how it is, man. It's just how it goes, man. But hey, we'll see what happens out there. They charge commissions for direct routing. Yeah, the truth is that there's a reason why they charge for direct routing. It's just what it is, man. It's okay though. We won't stress too much. I need money to make money, and that's the truth. You do need it. So what I tell you, man, you need buying power. Trade the pool, but we won't get into that action. We'll keep talking. Take a look into the market today. Dell also up there towards $99. A lot of tech names getting the boost. Right now, I'm telling you guys, I was thinking success, but as long as the market stays the way it is right now and breaks through that 456, I might have to switch and go SOXL. And that's what you might have to do, guys. So the truth is don't ever come into a market with such a determined look that you don't pay attention to the price action. Was I bearish coming in the morning? Yes. Am I still bearish? No. The market is telling me not to be right now. We'll see what happens towards the opening action. But right now, as long as we can get through that 456, SOXL, all these kind of tech names should look like they're getting a nice little boost in the pre-market. AVGO getting a little boost that was weak yesterday. We saw semiconductor equipment stocks weak. TSM getting a little bit of a push up. NVIDIA now towards 113. So definitely catching the bid there and now starting to climb back. So unless we get a quick change here out the gates, it's looking like it's a bullish day coming on in, guys. So we'll see what happens with this. We'll just pull back the GOLD trade. Very much could. So gold, I'll look to see if that starts to pull back a little bit. And I think SARK can actually come down on this. So at the open, I'm expecting this to start cutting through lows, and maybe it starts coming back later in the day. We'll see what happens in ARKK. Can some of these names actually lift off today? We'll see what happens there. Meta, Shop, names to definitely keep a watch. Shop has been moving all around, kind of been going sideways. We'll look to see if it starts to make another up move. If Shop can make the up move, Amazon can do it also. It's right off the 9 EMA. There's so much to watch here, guys. And we're still really close to levels that could reject on the Qs. But the truth is, unless it gets back down below that red line, I'm going to continue watching to the upside, traders. And why? Because you got to be able to flip, especially on the day trading side of things. All right, guys. So how much does Trade the Pool charge per month? Let's talk a little bit about that. There's nothing wrong with that. We can take a look at that. I'll show you the different packages that are available on Trade the Pool, right? So here you guys have it. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look into the action here and see what we could, different packages that are available to you. So of course, it's just prop trading. You're trading the firm's capital, not your capital. And this is what we always talk about. You don't want to lose your $20,000 or $30,000. Well, this is one way to go about it, right? Of course, you got to pass the eval test and then you get funded. Let's take a look at the different packages that are available on the day trading side of things. You guys can see them here. We got the mini buying power, the super buying power, and the extra buying power. Of course, I have the extra buying power. I have all the way up to $160,000 in buying power in the market. And for Bullseye, how much more of this is than the $300 in Schwab that you have right now? Well, let's do some simple math here. Not really simple math. So a calculator here, right? So if you got $300, 160,000 divided by that 300. So essentially giving you 533 times your money in buying power, Bullseye. Well, might be what you want to have there, right? So just stating that, right? Of course, the profit target is 7,800, max loss 3,900. I can tell you guys I've been up as much as 3,000, like 3,400. I'll round it up. It was like 3,300 and let's say some change there. Haven't been able to hit that 7,800 yet, but I know I can do it, man. And the big thing here is focusing on how I go ahead and take that next approach. The big move that I see is faster trades, faster in and out, taking the profits when I can. Also staying small until things are working, and then taking a little bit of a bigger swing to really kind of bend that equity curve, right? We'll see what happens. There's also swing accounts though. And this is where I'm really trying to take it to the next level. I have this 24,000 one. I got to get to 11,000, and that's one thing to keep in mind. Max loss 3,900 right now on that account. I'm just pretty much down like 200, but just need to continue to watch to see if we can get that to keep pushing. Of course, the swing accounts is something that I definitely want to take to the next level. We'll see what happens there, guys. Let's keep pushing. Let's see what we can come up with today. Keeping an eye on CXAI, but definitely check them out, guys. And if you haven't done so already, you can definitely go ahead and check out Trade the Pool. There's links down below, but I'll throw one in the chat there for you. And definitely, if you need any conversation to understand it, let me know, guys. We'll take a look. All right, let's keep going. Rich H, I'm in the mini now, not doing so well. Well, slow it down. You know, one of the things with the mini paying, right, you got a max loss of 900 profit target. How can you slow this down? Well, the biggest thing I think with the mini buying power is making it last at least close to the trading period, which is 45 days, right? You don't want to get to the point where you're cutting this in like 2 weeks, you get rid of the account, right? I definitely think the first thing you need to be doing is playing the survival game, just surviving, right? If you can just survive, that's going to give you a nice confidence that you can trade. Now the question is, can you be profitable? Can you trade is the first question. And if you're just blowing through the account, I would not consider that trading. I would consider that just being overexposure, too risky, and you blew the account. Why? Because you weren't being a real trader. You were just being a gambler trying to make quick money. So we have to go back and say, okay, how do I be a trader here? I want to be survival. Just try to stay around the zero. So maybe go up 200, down 200, up 300, down 300. I know this doesn't sound sexy, but if you can just stay at the zero, you can give yourself the possibility of getting a nice win streak and actually taking off. We'll see what happens out there, guys. All right, let's keep going. I would likely blow it up with more buying power, but you don't need to use all that buying power. That's the key too, right? Taking small sizes today to try to get back into the positives. 100%. Now, the key, though, is be careful with going too big early, losing big, and then trying to come back with small sizing. That's also going to be hard now because the truth is you might need 30 green trades to cover that one bad trade. This is why it's so important to have rules. Where's Mustafa? in the chat. I know he's listening out there, and he's talked about it when he came on. Golden rules. Find those golden rules that you're going to abide by no matter what. If I came and watched your trading system, would I tell you something that you didn't abide by a rule that you clearly have stated? And this is what I catch in a lot of traders that struggle. All right, let's keep going. Mustafa, I know you're here, man. I know it. Let's keep getting after our golden rules. Let's keep focusing and trying to get to that next level. FSLR gapping up small. Let's take a look a little bit into some solar names. Of course, on a day where the Qs are doing well, technology loves to go and do what? Bring solar to the top. So let's take a look at that action. What's one company to look at? Run, because Run has mentions with Tesla. And mentions with Tesla, trust me, there's something to look at. And investors, keep an eye on these stocks. So now that we're back to the 9 EMA, let's see if we can make a run to 19 today, right? And that's on Sunrun. And we can take a look at FSLR. FSLR is starting to turn things around. And I had these levels drawn for a reason. I was looking for a move back above the 213s to see if Run would make a run. Haha, pun intended. And then seeing if these would start to catch up. First Solar looks good this morning. It looks good. So I'll keep a watch on these solar names, whether it be Run. Another one that could bounce back today, ENPH. SEDG is one that's really off the support. What's another one we can take a look at here that don't look too bad, right? Because that's the important thing. You don't want to be trying to grab one that's not looking good here. Here's a solar name that's really cheap, guys, relatively new. Has had some decent volume. I don't know it, but Turbo Energy, I have no idea what Turbo Energy does. Run is going to be probably my top watch today. We'll see what happens there if it starts to make that push. First level to watch is 18. 18 is going to act as some type of resistance here. I'll look to see if it hits 18, pulls back, and gives me an opportunity for an entry. We'll see what happens on that one. All right, let's keep going. INDO, not a bad one to keep watch. I traded this one. I had a really nice trade in this one. We'll look to see if it can continue to run. That was when it was at 3. This is starting to make a nice move there to 475 as energy has gone higher, right? If we take a look at XLE, look to see if this can continue to run. I haven't taken a look at WTI this morning. Let me take a look, a little peek here at crude. 79.57, definitely rising, right? We hit 80 this morning. So for those that were down when we were at 73 and you played the range trade back, definitely a good trade there. And oil loves to bounce from the top to the bottom, the top to the bottom. It just plays the range a lot of the times. Has Amazon rested enough to fill that gap? It could. It very much could. I don't think it'll fill it in like a one-day kind of thing because I think we need to be worried about CPI tomorrow. Don't forget that, guys. We still got CPI and retail data. And that retail data on Thursday is going to be very closely watched and scrutinized because it's going to give you more insights into recession talks and the consumer outlook. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look what else is out there. And you guys got names, small ones, big ones. Let's keep throwing them up in the chat. Starbucks today getting a big lift, guys. Let's talk a little bit about what happened here in Starbucks. As of course, it looks like a new CEO, Laxman Nasarhan. I don't know how to say that last name. I got to improve on that one. But Chipotle's CEO coming in here. So replacing the Starbucks CEO, it's coming in Chipotle CEO Brian Nicole. So Chipotle is taking a whacking on this as they're not happy as their guac just got stolen here as it's down there and now to 50.82. And Starbucks, big liftoff back through the 90s, back up there to 90.39. And it was on a big breakdown look. So good look there for Starbucks as it bounces back to the upside. Starbucks still has a lot of problems in their China business. I don't think so much in their North America business. It's more in their China business, but definitely a nice little push. Can Chipotle's CEO turn things around? I wouldn't be buying this today, but hey, to each his own, man. For it to lift off like that, that's a big push there for Starbucks. Already up 16% from that push this morning. What a push there. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there. Serving it up, baby. Starting to come back there. There is one that I'll tell you guys to keep watch today, guys. Kit is one that I'll be watching. I got rid of it yesterday for a little small loss here. But taking a look at it, guys, to see if this is going to pop above the 270s today. We'll see what happens on that. CXAI, how did that one trade here? Looks like it's hanging off of that 250 here. This one could break out right at the open. So let's see what happens here, guys. What happens to CXAI? It's definitely going to be on the radar. Going to be moving all around. So I'll keep watch on this one, especially towards the bell here. Q's already at that 455.70, but still hasn't broken that 456. Going to be so vital, guys. You can see it just chomping around that level. Still hasn't really broken through that. I'm going to put 456 here. I'll put the green bar there to keep watch on that. Anything above that, I'm trading to the green side. Anything below this red, I'm trading to the downside. In between it, I got to be careful. That's where the pigs live. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to be a pig. I want to be a bull or a bear. Those are the only two to be. The pigs, they get slaughtered, baby. And I ain't in here for that. Let's keep going, guys. What's up out there? Ticker key. All right, I can take a look at that one. Not a bad one to take a look at. Of course, that's going to be Key Bank, right? Key Bank getting a nice little lift yesterday off of the mention of course, a nice little investment that was brought by, was it Nova Scotia? No, it was one of the big European banks. So this is what's going to be helping out regional banks. I talked about this, that this could actually cause the KRE to get a nice little lift. Yesterday, it pulled back on this. So keep a look to see if maybe this just goes right back to the upside today. If this doesn't go green today, it's a sign of concern for the regionals. So I think this is definitely one that you can watch today to see some upside. Even though I'm bearish overall regional banks in the long run, I do think that this is prime for another little push to the upside. And look for PNC as another name that could get a little bit of a push back to the upside with this one. Of course, key is going to be regional banks. You can take a look at regional banks to see what other ones are moving. I would keep a watch on that. KRE is going to also be a way to take a look at this action. You can take a look to see what's been doing well there. I can use RSI to maybe try to find some names that seem good here. BANC, Bank of California, trying to go back a little bit higher. I don't know plenty of these smaller regionals. I mean, there's so many here that you can take a look at, right? We'll see how these kind of perform, especially towards the open. Take a look at that action to see if KRE just gets a nice little push. XLF was actually declining yesterday and kind of just hanging out right now. Qs overall, guys. Qs, I'm still watching that level. 456 now starting to be broken here. So looking good for some upside reaction right at the bell. I'll be watching here. We got about 7 minutes here, guys. What's up out there? Someone dumped Qcom a few minutes ago. Yeah, Qualcomm has been one of those guys that has been on the downside and has been pretty weak. But yeah, it looks like somebody dumped it. But it could have also been kind of a big buyer off of that level. Maybe a big buyer off the 163 and it dropped fast. So we'll see what happens on that one. Big turnaround in Qualcomm. And of course, it's on kind of the support there. So we'll keep watching to see if this one maybe makes a little bit of a push. Maybe it was a big buyer. We'll find out, guys. All right, Starbucks definitely going to be on the radar. CXAI pulling back there towards the 250s. Going to continue to watch to see what happens in maybe a Tesla today. Will it make a run there into the 200s, go to the 210s? Definitely in play here. SPY up there to 536. Trying to take 537s. That's the level on the SPY. If you're trying to look at a level, I'd definitely be watching at 537. And then a breakdown below 533 is your cut down level. And so we'll see what happens there. V bottoms, man. V bottoms. That's exactly what we're getting here. The only question is, will we get a takedown back towards the 530s? Is one thing that I'm looking at. Gold and oil. Go beans and ammo. I didn't get that one, Wisdom. Gold and oil, or go beans and ammo. We'll see what happens. I got you on that one now. Hey, we'll wait and find out. Lockheed Martin going higher in this pre-market. That's been juicing up lately, guys. Up there to the fives, almost 560s now. NLC also going higher. RTX, all names going higher. I don't know what this really tells us, but it's something to keep alert out as defensive names are going higher. All right, let's keep taking a look out there, guys. We'll see what we get. I need some coffee, guys. I need a little bit of some coffee. Get ready for the bell here, guys. All right, so you guys keep throwing up some tickers. We'll keep taking a look out there. It's 9:25, guys. Going to get ready for the bell here. Let's see what we can come up with. Home Depot with the warning today. That definitely shook some people. And some people were upset about that. Like on Twitter, they were upset about that, man. What's this guy's name? What's this guy's name? Charles Payne, of course, from Fox News. We were really upset this morning. I even requoted his tweet on Twitter. He said, another example of a large U.S. corporation with no clue about the strong economy and strong consumer. I don't understand why they don't, as Wall Street. These guys on the TV shows, man, they're talking heads, guys. Like I said, you've gotten warnings from about 5 different industries, consumer-facing giants. Everything from lodging to airlines, even now Home Depot coming in. Next up, I feel will be the cruise demand warning. At some point, all this strong economy narrative is going to fall. So keep your eyes open for that. We'll see what happens, as I definitely think we're going to see some downside action. All right, guys, let's keep taking a look. We'll see what else is out there. The sunrise report, baby. Let me see what I got out there. I did post it up, just a regular report. That should be out in just a few minutes here, guys. Do see the playbook out there. I'm going to repost that one, but we'll see what happens out there, guys. Let's keep going. Let's see what we can find some good money today. Taking a look into the Twitter streets to see what I find. All right, let's keep going. How's your SQQQ wisdom? We'll see what happens on that one. Let's smoke this market. Let's do it. Let's try to get some money here. Are you looking at Philip Morris? All right, let's get it, guys. Let's get it. All right, let me take a look at my swing action here. I want to see how the XLU is trading towards the open here. XLU. Look at my chart's struggling a little bit there. They need to wake up. Come on, internet. You can do it. You got it, Spectrum. I'm actually thinking about switching internet providers, but let's see right here if XLU can go back through that 34. That's what I'm watching this morning on XLU. Of course, it was trading all around this morning. We'll look to see if the XLU can push back through that level. Definitely the spread all around out there on this, but looking for this to go back through that 74 towards the open. I got a good position in this one. We got to get ready for the bell, though. It's 9:28. Let's get the scanners up. Let's get everything up. Let's go ahead and get ready here, guys. Of course, you guys see the XLU right there. You guys see me cover that NVIDIA this morning. I'm glad I covered that NVIDIA. But NVIDIA is starting to come down a little bit. Who knows? Maybe we got the topping in the morning. I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to be very careful at the gates. Very careful. So if you guys have stocks you guys want me to take a look at, let me know, because I'll be watching a little bit more out the gates than trying to be too big on the reaction that we'll see out there. All right, guys, we'll be looking around. I'll be looking at the sectors to kind of tell you guys what I see. And, of course, I can take a look more into that PPI report, but, you know, we got to continue to watch to see what happens there. Definitely going to be a lot of shake in the PPI. We'll see how people react on that. All right, definitely PPI falls to 2.2 below the expectations, so keep your eyes to see how that affects the market here. Of course, we did go up, but we didn't get a big push, so got to continue to watch the cues to see if we get through that level. You see how we just wicked through that 456? This is why I'm going to be watching the first 15-minute candle like a hawk here towards the bell. 30 seconds left here, guys. Get ready. Roll up those sleeves, put those fists up, and like always, focus on execution here, guys. Good luck, everybody. Get after it. Let's see what you guys can do. And like always, guys, remember, we all support each other. win or lose, because the truth is we're all trying to play this hard game. Trading is not easy. Anybody tells you it's easy, tell them to get the out of here, because that's not what we're about. We're about the real game here, which is it's a hard game, but we can do it. How we do it, we focus on execution and we get after this market. Let's go do it, guys, and see what we can find. Get after it, team. The market's open. Now the only question is, what can we get out of this pool today? It's time! Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's get it. Get that market, guys. Let's see what we can come up with. All right, right out the gates, guys. I can tell you guys the Q's trying to break that move, right? Trying to go through that 456, go higher. Look at the XLU, guys. XLU, big push up here. Not looking bad there on the XLU. I might just take some profits. $74 available to me right there. Doesn't look too bad, but I'm going to look to see if the XLU can continue to climb. Pullbacks back towards my entry, though, will get me out at this point. Looking to make about like maybe 200, 300 on this swing. $200 to $300 on each swing would be perfect. I don't need to make $1,000 on each swing. Just looking to make a good money on that. Look at that go. 74.10s was in this just yesterday. 73.32s. CXAI right out the gates here. Definitely the one to watch. 265 available for it there. CXAI trying to make that big push right out the gates here. All right, let's go to the day trade account and see if we can go ahead and trade this. This is the only one that I'm probably going after right out the gates here. Looks like it wants to get towards the trend line of 280s here. So just be careful with that, as I do think it's going to hit that and could do a little small pullback on that. So I'm looking to see it hit that trend line here. There it goes to the trend line. I already had this drawn before, even in the pre-market. This is how I was trading this in the morning. This is how I was able to make the green. So looking to see what happens now. Will we get reload at 256 and 260? So looking for a quick little pullback to 255, 260 here to see if we get some reloads. And there it is. Look at this big order right here. 12,500 at 268. That's a reload there. They tried to buy a big amount there at 268, trying to get this to get back there through 3. Let's see what happens as they got that pullback fill there. 12,000 shares went through there. There's some big order size again, 5,000 shares, 6,000 shares. So there's some bigger orders coming through now. As we can see, the tape really flowing through now. 8,000 shares, a sell. So there's someone selling into that push above the trend line. Trend line breaks, they sell some. Now they're looking for that move to 3. Can they get that move to 3 here? We'll see what happens. Pull back to 260s and 250s could also happen on a 5-minute basis. You could get that pullback here. 1 minute. Nice little breakout there. 3 candles straight to the trend line. Now I think you'll start to see maybe a pullback here towards the VWAP. We'll see what happens. Why am I short? All right, guys. I had, for some reason, an order out here that I didn't even notice here. This is a mistake in trying to catch it here. There you guys have it. I'm out. $5 loss there on a mistake order. Gotta be careful out there, guys. It looks like I left an order out from earlier when I was doing the limit sells. So I had to stop limit out there, and I also had a limit sell just in case of a pop. I didn't cancel that order. Got hit right now. It could have been a good short there. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not trying to short this stock right now. So, hey, $5 on the loss. I would rather do a $5 loss on a mistake order there than try to act like I didn't make a mistake there. Hey, it happens, guys. Let's keep going, guys. Let's see what we got out there. Don't have your hard work. Don't lose your hard work money. I agree. Appreciate you. I'll keep getting after it today, guys. I'll tell you that much. I definitely don't want to give up the gains there, as I've had a really good start to the week. Starbucks, right? Big push up there now to 93.50s. I think at some point this is going to come pulling back, but the question is when, right? At what point is Starbucks just way too overbought and then starts to turn around? If I look at the hourly RSI can go as high as, take a look here. RSI has a tendency of going all the way up towards like higher 90s. So I wouldn't be trying to overreact too much here. It's at the 91s though. Could go up there towards even 95. So Where's the hourly levels here for resistance? Let's take a look at that. Daily levels for resistance. Prior support acting as resistance around the 92s, and the next layer from there is going to be a move back towards 97, it seems like. But take a look at the weekly. I can see 97. So 97 is the area where I could maybe go short on Starbucks today, looking for this to reverse because it's just gone too far. HUYA getting a little lift there towards 5 and now pulling back. We'll see what happens on that. Qs overall, man, at 456, but it's not really a big push here. I think it kind of made the push in the pre-market. Technology up about 0.28, cyclicals up, healthcare behind that, basic materials. On the downside is energy and real estate right now. Utilities down a little bit also, but they did gap up. So I'm going to continue to watch that to see how these move. NEE, Excel is on my radar today. So Excel already getting a lift there to 58.60s. In the pre-market, it was at 58. So not a bad little push to start the day. I'm going to continue to watch this one. Daily chart looking good off of that $58 spot, or maybe 57.80s, to go through 59 today on Excel Energy. We'll see what happens on this one. Not a bad looking chart right now. I'd like to see a pullback to 58, but I could play off the 58.50s for a move to 59. Doesn't look too bad there in Excel. GNLN was the one that we were trading yesterday that did make that down move eventually, but look at the push that it did eventually. This thing made a monster move towards the close. It got all the way up as high as $21. So be careful with this thing, guys. It's going to move all over the place. GNLN trying to make that pop above the 1050s, moving all around this morning, was down there towards 9, now back to 1075. Will it reject this and come down, or will it just start booming? Keep your eyes on this one. It's going to be moving all around, guys. All right, CXAI up there at the 280s, looking like it wants 3. We'll see if it gets to that $3. All right, guys, looking around, guys. NVIDIA down out the gates, but catching a little bit of some dip buyers at the 112. StockSAS coming back a little bit today. We'll see what happens on this one. Big rejection there on GNLN at the 1050s, now down to 977. So just be careful with this one, guys. I feel like it's a short, but it's such a high risk type of short. Sorry about the crying out there if you guys hear it, man. Boys are not loving things today. A little bit of that teething action out there, guys. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there. What we can find. EIX bull flagging. Okay. Meta with a big push up there. AILE popping to 4. This one trying to get back there towards 450s was just destroyed recently. So this is one that I'm taking a look at. I don't know anything about it, so that's what I'm watching for it here. Just popped up above $4. We'll look to see if it goes to the pre-market high of 469. So that's kind of like your outlook there. Definitely needs to hold the pullback here above the 385. If not, it could just be a blow off top. 385, and then it starts to come back down, and this stock was already down. Taking a look around in the market right now, guys. I'm not seeing too much. I'm just looking around out there. OGen is one that's trying to make a 250 break. This is one that's had a couple of pops and drops, so now it's trying to have that pop. We'll see if it just drops again. Starbucks got up there to 94s. The stit's pushing, man. CXAI getting up there to the 295. So definitely still trying to push on CXAI. So that's not a bad one to look there. I do see 18,000 on the 280 pullback. You might get at that 280 pullback. I would love a pullback to 265 or 260s on CXAI. That's when I would start coming back into the name. MIGI. That one's not looking too bad. Capital Markets 1 trying to break through that 220s. Not a bad looking one. I don't think it's going to make like an insane move, but it could come right back towards this daily resistance of 3. So you have $1 potential on this. Not a bad outlook here. Just broke out through this level, so I'd look for pullbacks maybe to 210s, 205s here, but not looking too bad. MIGI, nice little push there in the 220s. So maybe a pullback here on the VWAP to 210, 206. Makes sense on MIGI. BuzzFeed trying to come back through that 260, was up this morning, did do that undercut towards the 250. We talked about maybe undercutting and then making the move there towards 3. So this one is on the radar right now as it starts to recover 260. I'd like a nice little pullback right here towards the 250s to hold and then start to see this go higher. So maybe the bid drops down to 246. Offer at 253 or 250s is what gets me into BuzzFeed for that push to 3. Doesn't look too bad on this smaller one. If I did go after this, I'd be trying to keep it small here to see if BuzzFeed can make a little push. There's CXAI starting to drop a little bit there. I can look for a little bit of a further pullback towards 260s. That's what makes sense there. So if it comes back towards that 260, 255, we'll see what happens there in CXAI. I think it's trying to trap the 290 buyers. So maybe you hit 290 again. Yeah, and you just hit it. You went to 294, you hit 290 again, you trap some buyers there. Now it's going to come down and try to wash them out, and then looking for the relift after that. CXAI, what are you seeing on there, Bullseye? You think that one still has more? HUIA, show you the money. We'll see what happens on that one. MIGI, now the 230s. No pullback on that. Continuing. BuzzFeed, 250, 257. Bid coming back here. CXAI, though, a little bit better option, is also pulling back. Guys, the cues, alert, right back towards that green line. So yes, I'm playing the green line here. Yes, I'm still playing the upside, but at this point, it's not making a big move to the upside. It made it in the pre-market. Now watch out, because you could get some cut downs. Got to take it easy on this action today. CXAI still pulling back there. Still looking for a little bit more on that pullback. ESOA showing up in the scanners here. That's up to 860s. Energy Services of America Corporation, and it looks like an engineering company. AGRO as a farm product name that's going strong today. CVNA getting a little bit of a lift there to 142. SARK back down to the 35.30s, so that's definitely doing that undercut trade there. If I wanted to get after it, it'd be probably 35s. Go take a look a little bit at the swing trade side things and see what we can find here. I do have XLU up about $50, not too bad on that. Seeing SARK on this pullback to 35. Where's NVIDIA now? NVIDIA's up towards 112.50s, but could fade off of this level. I don't know, man. A little part of me feels like getting right after NVIDIA again. Let's see here. All right, so we've had a 15-minute pattern, essentially. Tried to break out and fail, which was at the 113 level. So what I'm going to look for here is for the 113 to fail. I could try to take the long right here to 113, and I feel like you get it. But if it fails at 113 and it starts to come back down, that's where I think you could really start to kind of fade off of this level. The Qs are just kind of pushing off of that 456. So that 456 level is going to be watched like a hawk today. We'll see what happens there. Technology, how's the industries doing there? Consumer electrics, solar getting the lift there. Run, guys. You guys didn't let me know about Run. Run's running, man. Not looking too bad at all. 1770s already popped above the 18s. Now looking for pullbacks below 18 to try to get an entry here. 1790s, 1780s is what makes sense for me right now. We'll see if we can get that pullback, come back towards the 1770s. That's what really looks good there for me. 1780s is the VWAP. I'd like slightly below that VWAP, coming towards the 1760s on a pullback entry for run. And you can also take a look into different solar names, right? First Solar just pushing there to 226. So I talked about how when technology does really well, a lot of times you'll get solar to kind of lead the action there. It's up about 1.12%. So definitely seeing solar strong here. We'll keep a watch on it. There's that NVIDIA attempted break back towards the 113. We'll see if it breaks that 113 and breaks out here. You see how it went right to it. It was a quick move there. That's the way I felt like I could maybe trade it back to the upside and take that trade too, right? And so that's the fun part now to see what happens here at the 113 level. Does it just break out and go to 113.50s, or does it reject this and come back towards 112? That could be also a breakdown. So you see it right there. That's what I was kind of looking at, the trend line approach. CXAI, let's go back to that one as it's back towards 287, looking for the breakout on that. So that's already pulled back here. It didn't come back to the VWAP. That's why I didn't get back in it. Let's see if it tries to trap the 290 buyers, or does it go through 3? I don't want to jump in on the 290 buyers because that's easily how it goes to 260s. And I feel like, man, you saw it already, but you took the shot anyways. Excel Energy doing well here. That's one that I'm looking at right now to maybe take even a day trade on. I do have XLU, right? But I do think that Excel Energy can make a move here towards 59 today. We'll see what happens in utilities. Utilities, can we make a move higher, go right back towards this 427 and see that starts to push? NEE is one that I'd keep a watch. I want to see that break back above the 78s to tell me that, yeah, we want to run. Excel Energy, we'll look to see if it gets back there towards 5860s, 5870s, and starts to run to 59. Not a bad one outlook that I'm watching. NVIDIA fighting that 113, just did a little bit of a wick there towards 113.25, and it's back towards 113. So the battle's on there for the Bulls and the Bears. 457.50s for the Qs tells me that, yeah, you're trying to make a breakout attempt here on the Qs. The question is, can it break out? Keep an eye on it, guys. GE overall pushing 2, so industrial is doing pretty well here now. Let's take a look at what's leading. Healthcare, cyclical, and basic materials. If I look at healthcare, I see healthcare plans, medical care names doing pretty well there, and the specialty drug manufacturers doing pretty dang well there, man. I gotta say, Bristol Myers, Lilly taking a big push up there. Gilead, nice little push there. What happens to Pfizer? I know that's had some good numbers as of late. Taking a look at it here, it is bouncing on the day. Got to 28.69. It's been up there towards 28.74. Doesn't look too bad on a 15-minute pullback towards 28.60s here, but it's not a crazy upside outlook. Just taking a look at it. Starbucks at 93.31s, got to 94s multiple times, has tapped that. CXAI now doing that 260 pullback. So CXAI coming back down after washing some traders out as it tried to get to 3. It went to 297 there. So keeping a close eye on it here, seeing if we can get below the 261 towards the 250s. But I think it might just hold right around this 265, 261 level, then try to go right back to 3. So I could take a shot here. I would try to probably start with 100 shares and then look to add as it starts to break through 3, taking the shot for the breakout. Looking for a slight move into the 59s and the 58s, but it's right back towards that 270s here. I'm just looking for it to going to go a little bit sideways here, a little bit of some slowdown, and then try to get after it here. Come to the 59 and 57s and then start to turn around. Got to be slow if you want to play this game. Meta crossing to the upside. Kit crossing down. So Kit not doing the best there. Going to keep a close eye on Kit to see if that comes back on the day. Serve down to 1147s. Got up there to the 12, but rejecting now. Here's another one that's making a move here. Lifeway Foods. So it's a packaged foods company that's had a big push up today, up 36%. You don't see that too often. Starbucks trying to keep moving. DAR, Darling Ingredients. These packaged foods companies are just ripping today, guys. A lot of these packaged foods companies making a big push. This one, Bond, and this one all up over 7% and getting a nice little push. That's an industry-wide move there that I don't even know too much about. I don't know too much about packaged foods and these smaller ones. I know the bigger ones, but man, DAR is a bigger one. 5.7 billion market cap, but getting a big push here. Nice little push there. Pack food for war times. Oh, don't tell me that, man. You scare the hell out of me, Wisdom. CXAI, we'll see what happens. Green. You were able to get green on there on CXAI. Where'd you sell it, Bullseye? All right, first red 2-minute candle on Tesla after the bell. Crazy. Yeah, I had a feeling it could get a little run to 200. Did it hit that 200? Yeah, 203. So it got the 200 and more. So now it could start to pull back. I see 210 available on the upside. So if you're looking at maybe potential upside outlook, I'm seeing around 208, 210. Of course, you know, you call your own shots there, but the 205 definitely in reach. Here, this candle low, 205.78. It's trying to fill the gap. CXAI back down and now starting to come back here. So now it could get the buyers and maybe try to push it through that 275 and really take it through that level. It came down to 262 really fast. And now you'd like to see a whipsaw right back through 3, right? And so no kind of pullback back below the 268 here now. Going through the 3 is the way I see it. We'll see what happens here. Of course, on the 15-minute outlook, it still did get that nice little pullback. Now it has the chance to reload at 275 here and try to take out the 3. There's some volume coming in here at the 280s, 283s. So seeing some size and starting to come in there. I don't see the big order. Don't see like a blue order or something like that. There's 5,000 at 285. So definitely starting to get some type of volume there, but no really big order there. Where's the wall? 290s. I see 11,000 shares there waiting. 290s is going to be acting like a little wall here. We'll look to see if it gets that breakout through 3 here. Could go for a little bit of a scalp now. That's the only way I could get after it now in the 286. We'll look to see if it gets there through the 3. I'm probably not going to take the trade here, guys. I'm just watching it. Not feeling it off of that. AIEL engineering trade has been trying to get back up there to the 440s. Failed on this. Now starting to come down. This one's moving all around there. BuzzFeed holding that 250 pullback. So that actually looks good to maybe make a little bit of a run here towards 3. So if there's one that I can maybe come after, nice little setup there. BuzzFeed. $270s is kind of the upside outlook right now. Could go for like a little scalp here off the 258 for the 270 move. I see the volume there and I see the trend line running right into that 270s. So 270s definitely a look. Then maybe 280s, 290s comes into play. $250s would be your risk here. So maybe 8-cent risk there. Just a really tight trade to maybe go after. I'm looking for a little bit more of that volatility in this market. AMTX getting a nice little push there. So oil names probably getting a little bit of a push. I'm looking at some of those. XLE pulling back though. MKDW, Diversified Industrial trying to push back here. I got no idea about this one. There's Bud feed to now 262. So it was available to me. Just didn't seem like too much upside, but it was available there. DAR. Look to see what happens on that. Starbucks slowing down now. Q's to 457.60. So it did take that up move there. We're still pushing, guys. We're still pushing for the time being. Still looks pretty good to play the upside. I haven't played anything right now. I'm just looking around, guys, and we're at what, 9:55. So around 10 is when I'll start to really start to hone in and try to take a look to see what's going on. Billy. Billy. This one actually looks pretty good here, guys. All right, let's see if I can maybe grab this thing on a pullback back through the 14s, 415s, potential upside. It's only about 30 cents. So just keeping that in mind, looking at the hourly chart, this is kind of a reversal from the pullback on Billy. Daily support is right around this 1350s. It is trying to come back. It isn't the biggest bullish chart, so that's what's keeping me out of it like immediately. But taking a look at it, doesn't look too bad. It's holding this pre-market resistance. Just pushed up there to 1420s, could recover 14 and get right back to the upside there. Actually doesn't look bad at all here, guys. Especially on that pullback here, 711,000 shares going through there. This could get a little bit of a run. Billy. I need to get my level 2 reading game a little bit better. Yeah, look into that. You know, I think it's very important. And I think it's important to also look into different services that can help you with that. Bookmap is one of those services that I have no affiliation with. I'm not getting paid by them, but I can tell you they do have some tools that could help traders understand level 2 a little bit more, understand order flow a little bit more. But definitely level 2 is very, very important, guys. You guys see, I've actually added that here for you guys to take a look into it. So right now, 1394s doesn't look too bad for the 14 recovery. Starting to get back through the 1396. So let's see if I can get 1390s here at 1392s. It really isn't that much of a risk here. I could take it off the 96, 10-cent risk here for the pushback through going towards the 1450s here. It's really all dependent on how you feel about China market right now, because you can do also this FXI trade, and I'm sure PDD is going to look very similar. Yeah, very similar. It had a nice little pop to 145. Now pulling back. We'll see what happens on that. BABA is another one to look at, right? Pullback, looking like it could rip back towards 8130s, 8140s. It's going to depend on the Qs overall. Qs pulling back a little bit there, trying to hold the 9 EMA right now. If I take a look at the 15-minute, it doesn't look good. 15-minute looks more like a Harmy candle forming here. Very slow move out the gates and could do a quick move to the downside. That's what's keeping me out of it, guys. All right, CXAI back above that level here, holding on the trend line. So now is the approach to either break out through 3 or fail. That's the way I see it right now on CXAI. We'll see if we get it here. Let's take a look here. Where's the wall on CXAI? Wall is around the 290s to 289s. That's going to be your first little wall, this little bump right here to get through. That's where it's struggling, the 289. This 280, though, is going to be a little bit attractive for it to pull back to. So I'd look for a little bit of maybe a hit towards 279 and then a take of the 290s. But that's just the way I look at it. I start to look at like where the volume profile is really building up. This 289 to 292 is the resistance right now. The 280 is acting as support. Now you got this bid buyer that might get filled at the 283, goes to 280s, and then I'm going to look to see if it comes right back towards the 290s. It's trying to build, but it can't really do the breakout there. How's Sound doing today? That could be a good sign, right? So SoundHound was doing really good yesterday, has a nice daily chart, is trying to approach another breakout here. It's kind of sideways, just pulled back off that 540s. could start making another move higher. I kind of like this one on the pullback versus even CXAI. 535s holding there, could take the 553s, but I think this one's going to move side to side with CXAI. And over I, how is AI? C3 AI. This is actually making a move also. So a little bit weaker, right? But hey, we'll see what happens there. Got up there towards 2530s. It's on the pullback. These are all moving side by side right now. They're moving like with each other, right? And I think that's so important. Did we ever get that pushed down towards the 80 buyer? Here it is. This 280, 279 spot. Here it goes for the 290. See that wall right here? This 295 now. 13,000 shares. That could be where you get the slowdown on the break towards the 290s. $15-minute could still pull back to 265. Man, SPY is just going sideways right now. This is dangerous right now. I feel like it's just too dangerous to take too many trades right now. And the big thing is, I'm green for the week, man. I don't need to take too many trades right now. Kind of that back and forth right now. Clean Spark. I'm taking a look at some of the crypto names to see what's going on there. Not much, I'll tell you that much. Mara getting a little bit of a lift now. Riot trying to push a little bit there. CXAI just going sideways pretty much. AILE, will it take back 4? Not much I'm seeing, guys. IMGI pulled back to that 214, did cut back below that 210 that I was looking at a little bit earlier. Nice looking level here on the hourly for it to hold off the 210. Maybe you can make a move back to 250. Potential move on this could be a nice little move there. It did go $1.11 here last time, so $1.11 up could be, let's say, 312s. Potential move here. Doesn't look too bad there. Hourly, though, could pull back here. And have a look at the daily. Daily looks like it's already slowing down. That's where it gets a little bit concerning. 250, and then from there, the next level, 296. So definitely interesting off of the 15-minute outlook here on MIGI. CXAI still just chopping around right at the spot there, the 277s. Just can't take 3, it seems like right now. Clean Energy getting a little bit of a boost there. CLNE, I've seen this one move before. It just broke out from the $3 spot, now towards the 320s. Doesn't look too bad for maybe a scalp opportunity, but next level for this is 324s. BuzzFeed 273. So the trade was there. The 250 pullback, the 270s would have been my trade there. Looking for maybe a potential move to 3, but really I was looking for the 270, the trend line sell. That wasn't too bad. Playing within the range, it's what's been helping me. Guys, that's one thing I've noticed. I put it up on my Twitter, is that right now I'm seeing the edge playing within the range. So if we see a trend line, right? So the stock not going above that trend line, but hitting it and pulling right back. That's the way I'm seeing the stocks right now. And that tells me something. That tells me that we're not getting continuation moves. So don't look for the big win. Look for the small base hits right now. Seems to make sense. Like always, you guys choose your own investment advice, but that's the way I see it right now. So take a look into it. All right. Disney relatively weak compared to the market. I can see that. Gold. I love gold. Did it pull back today? Ooh, 19, man. Why didn't I take the swing on gold at 17? That was a good 9% there, guys. Not a bad move there in gold, up to 1906. AG, what's up with silver? Is silver going to make the move today? It's making a nice one. Silver doesn't look too bad off of that pop there to 530s. It's a smaller trade, AG, but definitely could get moving. The XAI just rejected again. I'm seeing a weak SPY here. I'm seeing maybe potential pullback. CXAI just chomping around out here. It doesn't look too bad on the hourly because it's had a lot of time to collect the volume for the breakout. I think at this point I can risk off the 275s if I wanted to take a really quick trade here in CXAI, but you got to hold off that 275 spot. So I might take the shot here for the 3 breakout, and then I just got to risk off the 270s. So let's see it here in the rule of 3. So rule of 3 on the 5-minute says up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. So we shouldn't break here this 273 spot. So the risk right now is 273. If I could get here 280s, I don't mind risking off this. This really doesn't seem too bad. Going to try to let it cut the 280s, maybe make a wick towards 277. And then if it comes back around, that's when I want to go after it. There's some sizing here now, sizing up on the wall. So the wall now is actually coming down. And when it comes closer, that's actually helping us because it starts to tighten in kind of the Bollinger Band. And you can see how you're hanging out on the top end of the Bollinger Band. It can always come back to the middle, which is the 235. So now that we got in that pullback back into that spot there, it held there for a second there, came back into the 279 spot. It's looking good here for the breakout, right back to the upside here. You just got to be careful with the breakdown back below the VWAP. SPY dropping fast though. That's what's keeping me out of it. I feel like the market overall is ready to fall off here. SPY dropping fast there. Qs just hanging out here. CXAI still looks interesting there for the break. I think it might do like a 3 pop and then just come right back down. And so that's where I got to determine, hey, is this $100 that 20 cents higher to 3 worth it to me? Because that's all I'm probably going to take, 500 shares here. I think what's more important is focusing on the overall market action here. But I'm just looking to see if the Qs can make another up push. If they can do that, CXAI can do it. You can see the lineup now. This 285, if we can get through that 285, yeah, we could probably make the push through towards 3. 13,000 shares just sitting there is going to act as a little bit as a resistance. And look at the pullback there towards the 280s, 277. So remember, I talked about the 273 as being an interesting spot for it to hold here. So getting closer and closer to that 273. We'll see if this can turn back to the upside. 15-minute candle opened at 282. We'll be closing in about 8 minutes. 8 minutes. We'll look to see if this candle is still green, not red. Open 282. Recovery of that 282 turns it green. See what happens there. Definitely the chop. 18,000 now. Wall getting bigger at that 285. Not a good look. All right, looking around out there, guys. LUMN. Okay. LUMN trying to get back through that 489, starting to climb back. This one interesting on the daily. Maybe gets back towards 530s. I don't know if it can make a move back there. It needs volume. It's very slow right now. It is getting at least a lift in the intraday. 470s on the pullback. $5 available. Next spot from there, maybe 520s. All right, CXAI. I just saw the SPY make a little bit of a move back to the upside, so I'm going to take the shot here in CXAI. All right, long there, guys. Just that long there, the 278s here. Just want to risk off the 273s. So I'm going to go ahead and get the stop ready for myself. So I just got to be ready to get out, right? That's what I'm going to try to do here is get ready for the out if I need to, which is 270s. 500 shares here. Ooh, 270s came fast there, guys. Fast. All right, there, out there, guys, out. I got this one share there. All right, there, guys, out there. Took a little bit of a hit there. Took about, what, 47 off there? Yeah, 47 off there, guys. I was up already about 130, so still up on the day, but it did pull back to the 270 there. I told you it was going to be a quick trade. I'm not hanging out for the breakdown because the breakdown's right now at that VWAP. It gave it the shot there just to get off the bid and looking for it to come right back up there towards the 290s. I didn't want to over push there. It came right to the 270s. And maybe it could have been someone hunting me on the stream. Not really a big deal. Tried to get after it. Super fast exit. Yeah, that's how it is, man. That's how it is sometimes. And the big thing there is that's kind of more of a like a make it or break it moment. It could still come back off the 270s, but I didn't want it to break the 273. 270s was my level. It went really quickly to 266. I said, hold on, get out, get out. All right, we'll see what happens out there. It wasn't that big of a loss there. It was like what? On the 500 shares, what did we get out there? 283. Nah, 265. So you guys can see it here. I made a little small mistake there, but still was able to get it out there. Just had it on the different order form that I had to get to right quickly, and then I had it like defaults to 1. So it's 269. So I lost about what? 8 cents there, 9 cents. Wasn't that bad. SPY still coming down there, guys. We might start to see that breakdown here. Qs overall starting to turn around here. A little part of me feels like maybe I should just stick to the stock sell pullback here, but I don't know, man. Nvidia, will you come down today? We'll find out, guys. I did find this one, guys. NVDQ, which is a crazy one. It's a 2 times levered Nvidia. It's crazy, guys. Crazy what's available out there these days. 2 times levered ETF on Nvidia. That's crazy, guys. All right, we'll see what else is out there. What's the reverse of this one? Is it see a 2 times? That's the T-Rex. The T-Rex. Oh, here it is. NVDX. This is the 2 time long one. Interesting. I mean, interesting to say the least, right? Airbus getting a little bit of a move. Airbus. That's a biotech. RCAT trying to push into 3 here. AILE. Yeah, not much, man. SPY is just chomping around here, guys. You see, I came down and then just bounced there. So let's see what happens if the Qs can keep going higher. They're pushing higher. This is why it's hard to bet against it right now. The Qs are leading the market right now. Technology, right? Run, guys, was a nice play there, guys. No pullback on run today, but boy, oh boy, was it a nice one. No pullback, sideways action on run. ZPTA getting a little push. This is a smaller one. I think this one had some AI mentions. I caught on an exclusive from Benzinga, so I'll give him a shout out, right? We'll see what happens if this one can really get going. Can it get back towards like the 70 cents or maybe 75 cents? Is available to it. Starbucks, are you going to continue? Looks like it might. 97 is the next spot for me on Starbucks. We'll see what happens there. Don't forget the like button. Like always, guys, smash it up. There goes Dell. Yeah, 2 extended. Q's nice stare up. Yeah, it's staring up for sure. Nvidia now 114. So definitely making a move there. XLU pulling back a little bit there, guys. Got to 74.10s. I'll look to see if this can recover. Sound hanging off that 538. There's really not too many names right now. Kind of getting a bigger move. It's kind of a lot of small moves and a lot of action that I'm seeing out there. There's CXAI back down, guys. There's 264s. That would have definitely got me out anyways. So pulling back a little bit there on that CXAI. Seeing some downside in the market right there. GNLN back above the VWAP, pushing towards 11. Man, this thing is moving fast, guys. Be careful out there with this one. Could keep rocking and rolling, though. This thing got moving yesterday. Hourly holding in pretty well there on the hourly chart. This is actually trading pretty well here. Resistance towards 1150s here. Next layer 14 on this. So, going to move all around there today. We'll see if this can just take off through 12s. GNLN. I can't go after it there. It's too far for me because the pullback is 1025, and that's easy how you just get wrecked. But is it interesting? For sure. Getting after it today, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's keep seeing what we can do there. There's the pullback back towards the 1130s. Let's see if it reloads at 10 or like 1050s. DAR kind of just going sideways. I'm seeing so much sideways action, man. Go take a look at some other scanners here. Let's see what I can find. I'm seeing 88% of technology up. So there's one area that maybe the trade is like maybe like AMD that's beaten down, maybe getting some move back up, right? So you can see AMD is just slightly starting to get going. So I as much as I don't like AMD, I do think it's tradable on a day like today. We'll look to see if we get continued upside action, but definitely like SMCI had a lot of option bet, now starting to go back into the green. That's a good outlook there for those names. Triple D Systems, 3D printing, getting a little pop there. 250s on the pullback. We'll look to see if it gets back there to 260s. This is a really beaten down name though. Quantum computer name that's getting a little bit of a lift today, guys. IonQ. This thing has a tendency of making a move. I've seen it run before. We'll look to see if we actually get another run, but doesn't look too bad. IonQ. You can see the daily trying to bounce back. Starbucks 94.75s and continuing to go. What a move there today in Starbucks. Man, the Qs are just playing with people, guys, because it goes up and it is a stair step up. But from the open, we only went up $2, 0.4%, not even a full percent. And it could drop in a heartbeat, right? It's right back to 457. Now, if I look at where it is, it's only about 0.3. So let's take a look at it here, guys. I know that I was kind of bearish coming in, so I'm trying to be like really objective of what I'm seeing here. And I just see like slow momentum to the upside right now. That's where it gets a little concerning. CXAI now down to 258. So would have got out of that one. Cron cannabis stock getting a little bit of a lift there. Not seeing much, man. A lot of slowdown out there. Solar is a strong area. Computer systems is one area you can look at. That's why these smaller ones are making a move, like TAC, RCAT, IonQ, Dell. So Dell's in that space. Maybe a scalp on Dell above the 100. It is trying to come and close this gap. So it's not a bad one to see if it can close the gap. There's a little bit of a gap here where I'll consider it a gap, right? There's a smaller one here, and it could come back towards like the 105, 107 range. It's holding in there. It's not looking too bad. Nvidia also slowing up at that 114.25. It seems like we're just getting these stair moves higher, but that's where it gets a little bit concerning for quick moves to the downside. We'll see what happens. It's still just a slow grind. Cannabis time sounds like you damn oil. Yeah, man. XLE is killing me. My oil plays are fantastic, but the basket play is just not productive enough. Yeah, that's the hardest thing, I think, with the oil. I think you get it wrong, right, and then it gives you a big winner. So you need to keep the losses really, really small, and then all of a sudden you get a big winner. That's how I've seen it in the oil game. Smash the like out there, guys. We got over 82 of you guys out there watching right now. I want you guys to take a second, guys. It's what? Now 10:20. Take a second. Do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. That shows everybody at Trade the Pool that you guys enjoy the stream here with, of course, Money Mitch and my outlook of trying to help you guys continuing to grow in your trading journey. So smash it up out there, guys. Let's see what else is out there. Okay, that's all for you today, Par. Hey, we'll see what you get, man. Take that money and run. There's nothing wrong with it. LUMN, Bullseye. What are you seeing out there? LUMN there towards 5, but a slow grind on that one too. It's a slow grind all around out here, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to go to the swing trade side of things and go take a shot here in SARK. All right, time to take a shot here in SARK. All right, guys, just bought some in SARK. Guys, going to take a shot here in SARK to see what happens on this. We'll see what happens on this. Taking a shot there, long 200 shares. Willing to add more at like 34, 30s or something like that. But definitely going to give it a shot here to start seeing if this could reverse off of this layer and start to come back here, start working its way back into the green. Hourly candle going green at 35 would be a good look. This hourly candle, of course, opened up at 9:30 at around the 10:30 hour. We'll see what happens with this, if it can start to turn back to the green side of things. But taking a swing trade there on SARK. XLU is something that I'll be continuing to watch to see what happens there. Will this continue to ride up, right? So I'm watching this closely to keep an eye on it, but it's a tough one. It's a tough one indeed. Let me see if I can get towards a chart here. All right, let's see if I can go ahead and set this up here. Just moving my break even stop loss on XLU. So no matter what, I won't lose on XLU now. And now I'm just going to continue to watch SARK to see what happens there. So I'll look to add on SARK just a little bit weaker and look to see if the market turns around to the downside. Of course, we've talked about that. That's that cut down through the 456. If I go through, let's say 459 on the upside, I can also cut this today. But taking a little bit of a shot there on a swing. Right now, my risk is going to be towards like the 34, so about $160 on the risk side of things. Switching back here, guys, ready to take some action here to see what we can come up with, guys. It hasn't been a bad day here. Going to continue to battle up about $82 from the morning trade on CXAI. Lost one in the open market, but just going to continue to watch to see what other trades I can come up with here. I did see Starbucks make a move there to 95.29 and start to pull back. This could come back all the way to 92s. So I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to short Starbucks and get after it here. This would be a quick little scalp type of trade, and you got to be quick with Starbucks. I've seen it come back on me plenty of times. So I'd go after the first action and then really quickly try to take the profits. All right, looks like we rejected this 94.50 area to come right back above it. So I would like to see 94.50 show up and fail there. Then I could get short on it. If I get short too much here at 94.20s, it goes to 94.70s, and then I'm out. So looking to see that already got a good rejection up here. Then another rejection that broke down below this support, came back above it and rejected that. That's a good outlook now. Now, somewhere in this 94.42s, 94.47s, wanted to kind of give a little level here where it's just a hard level stop right around this 94.40s. And then looking for this to take out the 94.02 on the downside. So, and the pullback is right back towards 92.20s and just the VWAP. I'm not looking for much more than the VWAP. Could break down this 94 already, just broke down that 94 there. Looking around to see what's going on with the Qs. The Qs are at the 457.56. So I don't want to open up too quickly here on Starbucks, even though I do want to get short on this. Still looking for that pop back. Still no entry just yet. I do want to get short on this though. There's no reason for this stock to go, 40, 30% there off of a CEO mention. That's why I'm also trying to short it. There's no reason for this. We'll see if it goes right back there towards the 94.44s. And if the Qs could break the 457s, that's really what I'm looking at, because there's another attempt here towards that high. Now I can go start looking at like maybe SQQQ, right? SQQQ is not a bad way to start making a bet on this because you could keep it tight. That's another way, right? To take a starter on this, looking to see if the Qs are going to turn around. If not, right, it needs to break 456. So 457 is just the first takedown. Then it goes towards like 456. I'm trying to be slow to the moves right now, not fast. So that's another thing too, is to kind of wait for the moves, not react more than try to front run. That's what I'm trying to do right now. All right, CXAI, SARK. SARK is ARKK inverse. So if you don't know that one, hey, take a look into it so you can understand a little bit. Starbucks to the moon because it's stealing Chipotle's manager. It's a funny one, right? I mean, it's crazy how you can get that much of a lift just from firing your CEO and grabbing another CEO. That's how it goes, guys. Any suggestions on the cheapest subscription service for sector index data to help filter my search for a company? Clear as day. Good question, Rachel. I would tell you to take a look out there, right? Because there's plenty of different services that are going to be available to you that are free, and also you can get this, but you're going to have to work harder, not easier. Why I use TC2000? You see me do a lot of work right here on this screen, and I can find names like Footwear Accessories coming back today. On was a name that got hit hard today. Look how it's coming back. This tells me Nike's up. I'm not even looking at Nike, and I can almost look at it and just be like, it's up. Look at it. It's up, right? You saw me. I didn't even look there. Boom. It's up. So things like this, industries and sectors is so important, Rachel. It's what I think is the most important thing for me to have edge, and why I do well in the swing trade, because I focus on sectors and industries, and I'm trying to understand what's going on with the psychology of the investors in that space, then taking different approaches, fundamentals, technicals, the story, and the overall market. If I feel like the overall market is getting primed for another run up, or maybe a switch from growth to safety trade, then I look into that sector and industry, and it makes sense for the safety trade, and the technicals make sense. Now I have a high conviction trade that I could take a swing trade on. Now, cheaper option for subscription service, I would have to say, and I hate to say it, it would be Think or Swim, but you know how I like to call it. But that's one that's free that you can do some scanner data on. But really, I mean, you're going to have to do the hard work there to try to get the sectors and the industries to kind of help you there. So there's so much more that you can take a look at, but you definitely need to go ahead and look at what can support you. I know there's cheaper services like maybe FinViz. I know that with our package, our higher package, our medium package, and our higher up package, you get these services for free. right? During the month, you go ahead and you can get these. That's how I'm using trade ideas right now. So if you get one of our package, you can go ahead and get one of these. We have a lot of different programs that you can get. You only can get one, right? One of our partners, but you can go Bookmap, you can do Trend Spider, you can do trade ideas. Hey, check it out. Nike going higher. We'll look to see if that keeps climbing there. Nike's actually a good outlook here on the daily, guys. This has a big gap and it's starting to approach this. And I think the bottom's in there for Nike as it starts to come back. Starbucks breaking down from that 94, now really starting to cut down here, down towards the 93.50s. So, hey, I had my opportunity to get after it there on that 94 break. It's back down to that 93.50s. No bounce in that spot there for me. That's really what I was looking for. Was I going to get the bounce? And I didn't get the bounce into the 94.40 area. It just came down fast. Now I could play it off 93.50s for 92. But easily, I'm playing in the middle. Q's going for that 457. Let's go for the SQQQ. All right, guys, just bought the SQQQs for 930s there. 930 is going to hold off the 920 area. Really looking to add a little bit more here, especially if I can start to see that Qs start to crumble. SOXS is also another way I want to play this. So I'm just going to separate my money. SOXS goes faster. So I'm looking at SOXS here to go ahead and take a shot here on this. I have 2760s as the pullback layer. So I don't want to get too big too fast on this. Let me go ahead and just go with 100 shares here and looking to see if I can get back towards 2760s, 2750s, and then really start to see this going. So I see the support down here at this 54 that it can go back to. So I got to keep that in mind that this is the support right here. It's 56. So we could still get an undercut through that level. Now it goes back to the 84 is looking good there as it starts to come back. I'm looking for pullbacks into the 70s to add. Doesn't look too bad as I start to get this move now. Now I'm going to look to see if we really get some takedown in the Qs overall. 457's break there. CXAI is coming back there. You guys can go look at that one. I'm going to focus in on this trade because I think it's more important. But like always, guys, you guys can focus on what you think is important. CXAI is coming back, so keep your eyes on that one. It's starting to push. You check Nike too late, easy $2. Future day trade. That was on the playbook. Nike was on the playbook, but the biggest thing on the playbook is sometimes is I'm going to forget some of these plays. I put out so many of them. I can't keep up with all of them. I really can't. But Nike was on the playbook. I can rewind it. And Nike was a call on the daily support, and I can have the levels. You know what I love is that this tells you also like the date that I was drawing this. Look, I created this on 8/8. It's 8/13. So that's the day that I was looking at this on 8/08. So we're talking this day right here. When I was approaching the trend line, I put it on the playbook right here. Not a bad one to put on the playbook at this point, right? So we'll see what happens on that one. That's where I put it, and look where it's at now. It's not a bad one. All right, SOXS now starting to get going here. Now we're getting a little bit of a lift there towards the 2780s. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to add a little bit more here. All right, it just popped to the 2790s. I just grabbed a little bit there. Now looking for some more pullbacks here to get some ads in the 75 spot. So I'm putting out an ad of 100 shares there, looking for some pullbacks into the 80s and the 70s to add. Looking for this to take the 28s. SQQQ is where I want to add also as it starts to make a move there in the SQQQs. Could add about 500 shares there. All right, guys, just added there another 500 shares. Now I have 1,000 of SQQQ, 200 of SOXS. Now taking some shots here. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Also could take a look at maybe taking a kind of a swing trade up here and starting to open up some swings. SARK is one that I already took, right? So I want us to keep watch on that as that starts to come back through that 3470s. I'm going to go back to the swing trade of things and look to see if maybe I add another 100 shares there. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just take that. because I'm not going to have the time to focus on this in a second here as I start to get the other trades and make a move here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take a shot here. All right, just added there on SARK. Risk is 34.19s now on SARK. NVIDIA is another one. I want to take this off 114 on NVIDIA. Let's do 114.26. Q's coming back. Q's coming back. Just be careful on that. If this candle goes green, that's where the concern starts to come in here on the Qs. So I'm waiting off of that right now. Really needs to break that 456, right? That 456 is really the breakdown. So I'm not going to go too crazy right now on taking more swings. I'm going to wait till I break that 456. Going back here towards the day trade side of things. So the SQQQ just really needs to go back through that kind of the VWAP. StockSats just filled me on that pullback at the 70s here, 74 spot. So want to hold off, like kind of got to be careful for a 2760 pullback and then the move higher. There's 2770s. Right now, I'm risking about $120. So I was trying to stay small until I get the move in my direction, and then I can really take the shot. Remember, I have about $75 a cushion, so that helps me out too. So good amount of volume came in on that move too. So now I want to see if that volume comes back in and we get more volume on the break. So you saw we got this volume. I want to see the volume come back to something like this and really show me that, hey, yeah, the bulls are coming in now, or the bears in this case, and really going to start taking it. So let's see if we can get a nice little push in volume here. Qs hit the VWAP and bounce like a rocket right back up. So that's not a good outlook for me on the bearish side, right? Now, if you're looking for something on the bullish side, because I always like to give two sides of the coin, not just one side of the coin, right? So take a look here at like AMD, right? So if you're looking for the upside, like I mentioned, AMD is one of those names that's beaten down and could get a nice little lift today. So I'm not playing this, of course, because it'd be against my own trade, but I could take maybe like a scalp on this, looking to kind of hedge a little bit of my battle, but we'll see what happens here. AMD, will that go higher? Apple's another name that you can kind of keep a close eye on to see if it goes higher. Qualcomm is another name that's trying to make a move up, but got a lot of down bets, right? SMCI, look at that thing. That has a lot of option bets to the upside, and it looks like those option bets are doing pretty well at the time being. StockSats pulling back here towards the 60s. I talked about how that layer would act as support around the 56. So just be careful out there. If that starts to break, you can get easily back to 50s and then get cut out. I think this is why it's so important to stay small early. SQQQ is a little bit bigger, but I mean, that doesn't move much. So that's the hard part about the SQQQs, right? You're talking about 38 cents on the 15 minutes. So maximum 38 cents on a 15-minute candle. That's not much. And that's on StockSats. So that's for the 300 shares. That's not bad at all. If I look at the SQQQ, they're talking about 7 cents. So pretty much 7-cent risk here with 1,000 shares. Not bad. That's what, 23s, 22s. So we'll see what happens if this can start to make the move. It's going to be one of these moves where you got to watch the Qs overall. here to see just what happens. The 15-minute just sideways. What's going to happen here? Honestly, I don't think anybody knows. Everyone's just taking like little bets right now to see if the market's going to continue just to keep climbing back. All right, guys, it's about what, like 10:39 now, guys. So definitely smash the like, guys. We can start taking a look at a little bit more, but you guys have been hearing me talk a little bit more about kind of volume profile action. We could take a little look into more of that action. Of course, you got different brokers that do this also, where they'll put like the volume profile on the right-hand side, and you can see different layers where things are lining up. It's so important. Of course, if you want to have the complete access to volume profile and things like that, you need to have access to the market depth data. So take a look into market depth data. Also understand that you can be getting data from the exchanges themselves on certain things so that you can get a little bit of an edge. Like always, you got to pay for this stuff. It ain't free. Nike has a $13 gap. What do you think about that? I don't know, man. I was the first I was the first one in this morning. What happened to CMG? All right. Is that one that you mentioned earlier, Nike? Maybe I missed that one. But CMG, what's up with the burritos? Burritos is down, man. Starbucks gave the burritos a hit, man, today. All right, there's Starbucks coming back a little bit there. Came back towards the 94s. We'll look to see if it takes the next level back. Talked about the 94s and the 95s being that level where it rejected from. CXAI still not making the move there. SQQQ still just hanging out there now, guys. Everything's just kind of like just hanging in right now. Look at this CXAI. Just hanging off of that 270. Got back to the 280s. Just doesn't want to make the move. AILE tried to spike there. So we'll see if that one gets going. DA. These packaged food names, man. They're just, it's a monster move, man. Lifeway Foods from 13 to 1650s today. I don't know these, but they're definitely making a move there. Still just looking in here, man. Not seeing too much. Just a little bit of a chop fest now. The Qs are just slowing down here. They're setting up for a hold of the 9 EMA and a push higher. But still the 15-minute candle is something to look for. 3 minutes left here. Big thing to watch here is going to be the next 15-minute candle, and where that goes will determine where I go, right? So if we start to get this upside break, I'll just get out, call it a day, take maybe about 150 in risk and get out of here, right? I'm up pretty big on the day, on the week. That's the way I'm thinking about things. I'm trying my best not to think about things on a daily basis because that just puts more pressure on today. I really care more about the week than I do the day. So like always, I'm going to try to stick to more of a weekly goal than a daily goal. You guys check this out and of course do your own action there, but something definitely to look at here. A lot of volume going through there on the SQQQs. Got to continue to watch to see what happens here, but there's people taking some shots here. The only question is what's going to happen to the market. I'll tell you one thing. It hasn't really done much today. So I know that there's some people that were playing some trades. Maybe NVIDIA was one that you could have played this morning off the 112s to 114s. That's not a bad move, but it's not big. That's one thing I'm seeing out there. Not too many big moves. We'll see what happens on that. SQQQ is coming down there. We'll see if I get cut out there. I mean, I'm looking at the 922 area as being that risk there. It's about $85 of risk. We'll see if it comes down towards that 922 and cuts me out. Don't have it out there. Just having it sit right now. Just looking at them because these are moving kind of slow right now, and then they're going to get that ramp up. And so will the Qs. So will the SPY. So we'll see what happens. SPY is holding in well off of that downturn. Went back above the 537. So You're still having the climb of worry, like the wall. They're just climbing the wall of worry right now. AMD, definitely one to watch for, maybe continued upside action. We'll see if that one continues to get the lift. It's right off of the levels and trading very similar to the overall market in the Qs. CXAI now holding at 273s. Will it make the move now, guys? We'll see. Penny name here. That thing has not been moving, though. When you think about where it was this morning, it's right where it was. It's just slow. Volume, not really driving it. CLNE was one that I was looking at there. 320 starting to go higher, but it's just one of those days where it's kind of a little bit of some mixed noise. We are climbing higher. It's just slow stair step, and that's hard to trade right now. So another thing could be here is a scalp against me, and I'll put it out there just because the truth is you guys can take it, right? You got nothing against that. That's TQQQ going higher through this like 62, and maybe Soxal pushing through that 33.50. We'll see what happens there. There's still trades there to be made. I'll tell you what's coming down that might come and get me is Sark. Sark might be a pretty decent loss in the swing account. I'm taking a shot on that one. It's down to 34.38. I think I got like 34.19s as the risk there. So it might get hit on the downside before the turn comes back. Here's CXAI back towards the 280s. Will it take 3 now, as it's been on the sideline now and could start to get moving finally? Let's see what happens on this CXAI. Q's pushing here, guys. That could give the lift to CXAI. And then I also see like NVIDIA taking another step up. All right, got to start sending some stops here. I'm getting the downside action in, and the Qs are breaking towards the upside. So I'm putting that 115 there for the SQQQs. Now going to go focus in on Soxal or SOXS. CXAI looks like it wants that 3. We'll see if it gets there. It's 283. And take the 290s and get to 3. Really get going there. There's SQQQs getting me the hit. Now SOXS might give me that hit. Just at the stop there, it'll be like a 144. So we'll be down maybe like 180 on the day. Not bad. I mean, I was still up about 170s a little earlier today. So, hey, that's what you got to do sometimes. Just keep the battle, right? If I get down a little bit today, hey, so be it. I damn taking my shots. And that's how you make money, baby. Take shots. Only question is, will they work out? We'll see what happens there. CXAI, will it get that break through the 3? It's setting up there now, 283s, 284s. There's the cutout on SOXS. So got cut out there today, guys. Down 190 on the day. Could try to battle back with the CXAI, trying to get through 3. But it's probably going to do it for me today, guys. Of course, was up about 630. So, hey, take a hit right back down. About $200. Not too bad. Going to keep battling. Of course, was up on the day. It was a little bit of a mixed day, back and forth. Did see the market go green early. Could have maybe taken some plays to the upside. Didn't see too much that I wanted to get after. I started to come after this kind of swing when we started to see a little turn in the market. Maybe reacted a little bit too early to the turn today. We'll see what happens as the market goes towards that 458, 456, 459, and you're really climbing back now, right? Now you're starting to get out of the 9 EMAs. You're starting to kind of start to break levels. So 457 was that level of 456 earlier today. Now you're back through that. You're still holding in pretty well as you start to climb back. A lot of the stocks are going to be looking like they're continuing that climb. Starbucks, we'll see if this can break down later in the day. It's at 93.50, still pulling back, but could keep pushing higher, of course, with their mention of new CEO. Like always, guys, going to be fully transparent. Nobody out there is showing you guys the wins, the losses, and the order forms. A lot of traders are going to hide this one right here to the left-hand side. And why they're going to hide this? Because they're trying to make money off you guys. And the truth is, I'm not trying to make money off you guys. I'm not here for that. I'm here to trade my own skills and try to work my skills to that next layer, and then hope that you guys learn from my wins and losses, right? That's what it's all about here. I hope that you guys had a great trading day, guys. It's about 10:49. I can hear the boys. They're being loud today, man. The boys are having a little bit of a tough day. So I'm going to wrap up the stream a tiny bit early here today, as I still got some more things that are going on in the market. Of course, this market is going to keep moving around. We'll see what happens in the Qs as it does take that next uplift. So AMD, one that we can maybe look to see if maybe this goes and gets the up move now. I talked about it, right? This is like kind of like a lagging name that I could go after for the pushback there. We'll see if this one can get a little lift there on AMD. SMCI, a lot of options trades out there for bullish action in SMCI. And look at this thing go. It's having a really great day there now towards 582s and starting to climb back. We'll see what happens out there in different names. ELWS, another software company getting a little bit of a rip there now to $3 and continuing higher. Hey, there's a lot of these software names that are getting a nice little push. We saw another earlier one, ZPTA, I think it was. Yeah, ZPTA. So a lot of these software companies getting a little bit of a push up. Similar move there. BuzzFeed, we'll see if that one can continue. Talked about the 250 and how that was a play here. We'll look to see if it gets to 3 today. Not a bad one, though. Keep an eye out for the market. CXAI got up there to 285. Still hasn't broken through 3. So we'll keep a watch on that one. And then GNLN has been another big mover. Pulled back to the $10 spot here. We'll look to see if this goes higher. This thing just rocketed yesterday. So if there's one that I'd maybe take a shot on, maybe it'd be GNLN to take a little bit of a trade here. But I've used enough of my ammo today. Strike 3 and you're out. That's what I have right now. I'm strike 3 and I'm out, which is a golden rule of mine, right? I usually try not to lose more than 3 times in a day because it starts affecting what? It starts affecting my mentality, guys. And so you guys can see it here. 1 strike on the $40 loss, 2nd strike on the 120, 3rd strike on the 145. I'm a big baseball player. Strike 3, you're out of here. We'll come back next time. The same way it is in baseball. When you don't get a hit, you come back and you try to take another hit. The truth is, the pressure's not on me. The pressure's on the pitcher giving me the ball. I got to go ahead and keep trying to take swings. And just like the market will do, it'll move back and forth, right? All we do is we come in, we either take a swing or we hold the bat. Right now, I took some swings. It didn't work out in my favor. I come back the next time and keep getting after it. We'll see what else is out there, guys. Keep battling, guys. It's not a bad one to take a look at. Starbucks almost at 94. It's not a bad one, Scotty. I just taken enough shots today. And when I'm having such a good beginning of my week, the number one thing you don't want to do is I had a really good Monday. I don't want to give it all back on Tuesday. I want to give myself the probability for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to find the green again and get to that $1,000 goal this week. You guys smash the like. I will see you guys back tomorrow morning. We're going to continue battling right here. Trade the pool. We ain't going anywhere, baby. And like always, check out our packages. We threw it up earlier today. We talked a little bit more about it, of how this can really give you guys the opportunity and the ability to get to that next level. So if you guys haven't checked out Trade the Pool, I don't know what you're waiting for. In the description below, you guys will find some links. Get over to there, guys, and let me know if you guys are opening up a new eval account, right? So I'm here to help you guys, right? If you guys are opening up new evals, you guys want to talk some trading, like always, guys, I'm here to help you guys continue moving forward. Have a great one, Steph. It's always something to learn, winning or losing. Yes, there's always something, Steph, and I'm always going to view it like that, right? Because the truth is, guys, is that do I take losses? Yes, I take losses, but I try to take them like a professional, right? Focus on what I'm doing, focus on how I can make improvements, and like always, trying to improve habits. What's the habit that I've been working on? Still not perfecting it, but that's starting slow and then sizing up when I'm green, right? Because you'll hear this comment, and this is what we're going to end on today. A lot of times you'll hear a trader tell you this, that you need to add to winners and cut losers. What does that really mean? To me, that means start small on the way. Like, let's say if I'm going long on the way down, right? I'm getting entries. And then once it starts to go above my entry and I start to get a big winner, then I can add to it and increase risk. But if I increase risk too much at the bottom, essentially I'm not cutting my losses and I'm increasing risk on the downside things. So that's why I like this whole small approach down and then stepping up once we're back into the green. So you guys think about it, how you guys want to approach it. Keep surfing, baby. Surf's up. Billy, 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 Billy. How did Billy Billy do right quick? Oh, Billy Billy's setup is still there. We'll wait and find out to see what happens on this one. I'll see you guys back in the morning, guys. Smash the like. I hope you guys enjoy it. Rachel, all the new guys out there coming in. And tough guys. Mitch, put that baseball reference in soccer terms. I got you. So you want to approach it in soccer terms. It's not strike three, right? But maybe, I mean, you can't do the 2 yellow cards because there's no 3 yellow cards and you're out of here. But you can view it like that, right? And so in soccer, I would view it as you can give up a goal. You can't give up 2. You can give up maybe 2 goals. Maybe you can come on. But we all know how in soccer, you give up 3 goals and you might as well forget about it, right? And so that's how the way I view it. Maybe now with 2 goals down, you start to bring a defender out and you take a shot again and you leave that goal. The same way in hockey, they do the same thing. That's what you want to be thinking about. We always come in, we try to take a shot, we take a strategy approach. In soccer, you're saying, hey, I think we need some more midfield help here. So I'm going to put another person here to try to help me. So maybe that's the pullback approach. There's so many sports terminologies. We're not going to get into that. But remember the quote that we talked about, right? Adding to winners and cutting the losers. Something that's talked about. But how do we go about that? It's more important. I'll see you guys back tomorrow morning. Smash the like. It's always good to see you guys. And keep battling in the market. I know it's not easy. And nor do I expect it to be easy. If you expect it to be easy, you're doing it wrong and you're not going to make it in this game. I'm always going to keep it straight with you. Keep getting after it. I wish you guys the best. I'll see you guys back tomorrow morning.